Well, congratulations.
Thank
on
you.
the
I
promotion.
appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Great.
Thank
Just to
you.
let everybody know, we're recording, and our senior advisory board meetings.
All right, it's 1 o'clock. I'm gonna call the February meeting of the Park Supervisory Board order. The citizens' comment. None
Unsubmitted.
We'll go on to our agenda item C1, consider approval of minutes for the January 11th, 2024 meeting and take appropriate action. I think there were a couple of corrections to the.
The first one, I think, Luke Falls needs to be recognized as emeritus and not as a regular member. And, for some reason, whenever the minutes were sent into you, it had her designated as emeritus, but somehow we have packed it has changed.
I'll make the correction.
And there's the minutes that I received, and I can pull it up afterwards and show you. It's weird because there's some agenda items that was on there that was from the last meeting. And so when I was reading, I'm like, that wasn't that last meeting, that was the meeting before. After the meeting, I'll show you, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah. The person, Susan, on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other, Nell Dodson, not Neil Dodson, that was Nell. It was misspelled a couple of times, so.
Sorry about that.
And the only other thing I saw was just a transposition of, the meeting was called to order at
118.
That should have appeared before citizens' comments.
should up there before citizens' comments.
The meeting was called to order.
The meeting was held at 1, but the
But it should
meeting,
go
the meeting
before the
did,
Citizens' comment.
It's listed as under citizen comment. And it should be the very
I
first
think
thing.
that's the way it was. Copied it.
Okay, well, it's just a
swap, you're
transposition.
talking about swap that
Yeah.
line item,
Yeah.
okay.
Not a. And that's all I saw. Did anybody else see any questions, any additional questions?
Mailbox is misspelled under C4 as well. Under C4 now. Third line. First word, third line. Oh.
Anybody else see anything?
Oh. Makes a motion, we accept minutes as corrected.
I second it.
And the motion being made and seconded to approve the minutes as corrected. All those in favor? Opposed? All right, so on to C2, we're gonna receive the first quarterly report for the branch.
So we'll start off with the, no. Let's see. We're gonna start off with the year-to-date revenue. So just kind of before we get into it, the reported analysis data during the first quarter supports a solid start to a new fiscal year, which started October 1, 2023. Maria, is that Maria? I think the door has to stay open.
TC unlocked.
Is it unlocked?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay. So October 2023 was when we started our fiscal year. So this data is for October, November, and December. That makes this our first quarter of the new fiscal year. And then I noted in there, however, starting January 2nd of 2024, the Branch Connection facility closed for renovation. The staff is still utilizing alternate locations for activities and programs for Branch Connection members. So the first quarter, we had a total revenue of $19,765. And some aspects that were responsible for that was some back revenue for the craft fair, vendor fees, membership fees and rentals. And then based off of the last 5 years, this is our second highest first quarter revenue recorded.
Craft fair, is it being as strong after the COVID as it was before COVID?
So apples to apples, I can't answer that simply because before COVID, the amount of vendors that they would put in the building and put in the hallway. So we've reduced the size because of safety concern. So while we fill up our spots that we designate for vendors, it's not the same amount of vendors that we used to have before COVID.
Oh, so that was deliberate.
Yes.
But I had noticed the drop.
Yeah, so
And I was
the
wondering-
yeah, the layout and having vendors in the hallway and stuff like that with foot traffic, that's a big kind of safety thing and
I
you
see.
get too crowded. So we simply move the numbers down to where it fits comfortably and not have it spilling out through the hallways and stuff.
Okay.
So the year-to-date number of scans for the first quarter was 8,427, which reflects a 2% increase over the first quarter of last fiscal year. New memberships and renewals increase. The number of scans demonstrate this trend. However, the branch connection will not have membership scans during the facility closure. The branch connection member participation will still be tracked at alternative locations. So here we are talking about our year-to-date number of program participants. We recorded 10,230 participants in our programs for the first quarter. The program participation for this quarter shows a decrease and is believed again to be impacted due to November and December holidays. And so the reason why I pointed that out was because we did have that conversation last year because there's that gap that exists between 21 and 22. And we saw it last year as well. And you see that exact same trend right when we get into November and December. And then based off what we saw last year, that gap that happens right there stayed consistent throughout the rest of the year. Now, granted, we don't have a facility, but it would have been great to have a facility to see if it mirrored that exact same thing. And then I feel like at that point, we have our answer on why does that number not beat from 21, 22? And again, it just looks like that November, December gap. When it happens, that's the separation that we play catch up to all year. For the first quarter, we had a total of 169 programs and events. We hosted the craft fair, 5 new arts and crafts programs, 4 educational seminars, and 2 holiday lunch programs. We also planned the Veterans Day celebration. However, it was hosted at the Farmers Branch Community Recreation Center. So this, talking about our expenses, we had a total of $142,949 in expenses. This was associated with programs, staffing costs, instructor pay, cleaning supplies, and the Veterans Day event. However, this is a 32% decrease compared to last year's first quarter expenses. And that happened because our Veterans Day event, we were able to host it at a reduced cost than what we projected our expense to be. And also reduction in instructor costs also during the holiday timeframe. We will continue to offer various programs this year without substantial increase in cost. Year-to-date expenditures will be continued to be monitored. And then again, please note that during the renovation closure of the branch connection, the expenses will continue with the costs associated with hosting programs at alternative locations. And we'll probably see those expenses kind of uptick more so during the summer than essentially while the kids are out of school, because we have to find a different location. And we'll talk about that when we talk about programs. we'll have to figure, there's probably gonna be some costs associated with housing our programs at not city facilities. But once the kids are back in school, our facilities will be able to host them. So for our summary, our total cost recovery for this first quarter was 14%. Again, the revenue collected from rentals, third parties, craft fair vendors, and membership fees contribute significantly to our cost recovery. Over the next year with facility renovations will negatively impact numbers. Staff will continue offering customer service and programs for members through off-site programs during the closure. And then if we go down to our NPS, NPS is a tool used, net promoter score. It's used to gauge our organization's customer service relationship and loyalty. So we can access, to be associated with revenue growth. The NPS of 50 or greater is considered excellent, and anything over 70 is exceptional. For the branch connection, our first quarter NPS score was an 89. And hopefully we'll continue to have good NPS score feedback from our members during all this alternative location. So that being said, that is our first quarter report. Does anybody have questions?
We still have a budget of 800,000 this year? Is that about right?
Say that again.
The budget. for-
Operation?
Yeah, operation.
I'd have to look at my actual budget numbers to
Okay,
confirm.
because I don't think they reduced our budget with renovation in mind. I don't think they did.
No, they didn't.
So we have a lot of money that we can spend. Since we're not gonna have those expenses,
So
extra monies that we can use to,
we're probably gonna have to rent a facility. We're still paying our instructors. We're still paying our staff. We're still buying recreation supplies. And right now with the renovation stuff, with the additional expenses with like IT and stuff like that, we're having to move any extra nickel and dime that we have into the projects account to pay for these extra additional expenses outside of phase A that's already going in and the bond for phase 2. But we still have money set aside like for fishing fund and for game night. So we still are doing those things and incurring those expenses as well.
so we're still doing game night.
Why would we not? Because we don't have a building?
I thought that we had, talked about doing other things.
They'll come up during the subcommittee.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what Deborah and I, so, yeah, so they'll come up later.
Any other questions on the quarterly report? Thank you, Jackie.
You're welcome.
I have a question about the budget. The renovation, is that a separate budget item that is separate from operating expenses?
Correct.
So we compare operating expenses from through the renovation versus what we've had in the prior year. I would think there would be expenses not being used during the renovation that could be used for additional events or.
So there's two parts to our budget in general. There's one that's our aspect, which is the operational expense, which pays the instructors, which pays for all the recreation aspects, fishing fund, Veterans Day, game night, incorporates all that, pays our staff, pays our part-time staff, and our supplies. The other part of it is the facility side, and that's when you're talking about water and electricity and HVAC and all that stuff. That's something that we as a department do not have privy access to because that's completely controlled by a different department. So we are still operationally, even though we don't have a building. So the money that's saved outside of building expense is not really related to us as an expense. Does that make sense?
Well, my thinking is because of the renovation, there are activities that usually happen. And I focus basically on the craft area.
Hmm.
There have been before the renovation, there were a lot of additional craft classes that aren't taking place now. These are not the normal scheduled weekly things. They're additional, like the sewing machine, classes, all of which had funding and had projects that all the materials were purchased, which we're not doing now. And so I was wondering, where's that money going?
So Jennifer's planning on still doing her one-off classes and stuff like that. It's just we haven't had time to find a location to schedule. So she still has a budget to do those classes. It's just a matter of time.
Logistics.
That's it. That's all it is. Right.
Gotcha, okay. I understand.
Any other question? All right, let's move on to C3, review the city strategy map. This item is placed on the agenda for board members to. Agenda item. When I went to the boards and commissions, chair's luncheon last month, the mayor passed these out to all the and asked that we share them with our board in our upcoming meetings. At the time when we had our last meeting, I didn't have these. It's just kind of a roadmap that I'm not gonna get into all the mechanics of it, but I did want to share it with you and see the said share that this is the city's focus on running the city and maintaining responsibilities and what they were focusing on as a city. And we could also, if we could incorporate any of these areas into our board, functions, that we would be able to do this. So, maybe I just wanted to let you know that the mayor did ask us to share, and I'm sharing with you, and just take a few minutes and look it over. All right, that's all I thought. Now, C4, review events and activities.
So I'll go over the activities and then I think actually we're gonna talk a little bit about game night or Deborah, or so. Okay, yeah, so let me just knock these out. So here at the Recreation Center, we are doing Zumba Gold, Silver Sneakers, Mindful Yoga, Balanced Bodies, and Tai Chi. We're also doing power walking here. The mixer will be on the 12th at Nancy Watton, and it's City Lights.
No.
High Cal. We also have Shared Moments, Book Club, Fly Tying, Photo Club, Cooking Club, Texas Hold'em, the day trip next Friday to the engraving. And then our book club here at the Recreation Center. Aquatics is hosting our art group, advanced greeting cards. Mansky is hosting our computer basics. And then also here at the Recreation Center, Mondays, we have our chair volleyball, duplicate bridge, line dancing on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, line dancing and open mahjong, Fridays, fun chair volleyball, aquatics on Mondays, evening crafts and thinkabilities, no class on the 19th. And then Friday is neglected history, which I think tomorrow we have our guest speaker coming to talk about the Tiguan Indians. Historical Park on Monday, mahjong, no class on the 19th. Tuesdays is the Dulcimer groups, and then Thursday, Friday, instructional quilting group, and party bridge.
Any more events or activities that anybody?
I attended, I believe that the Directors Association's awards banquet, and Jackie was also there. And there were 13 awards that were given out that day. And out of the 13, Farmers Branch won 3. The Historical Park won for the Mad Hattee. Parks and Rec Department won one for the John Burke Nature Park. And Deborah Hall won one for the National Television. And we got a tour, the Allen's New Recreation Center, $55 million facility.
I've heard it's amazing. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, maybe go check it out. Yeah.
Overwhelming. I mean, they've shown us the courts, and everything's painted in different colors, for pickleball, basketball, volleyball, and I'm like, oh, yeah, now you look like a rainbow.
And, I think also talked to someone from McKinney, and they were talking about their $100 million bond that they're. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
And so in my mind, I'm thinking, we're trying to get a $2 million bond passed, and they're talking 480 something.
$500 million.
And I just heard that Dallas is gonna try to, pass a $1 billion,
Oh, my gosh.
bond. So I'm really looking forward to the election, and hopefully our little measly $2 million won't be too much of a problem.
Wouldn't sound like so much when you put it that way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just after that, I went to that meeting, I saw the headline, McKinney to pass a $483 million, and they had just paid off a 380 something, or over 300.
That's wild.
No tax increase,
Kim's-
no tax increase.
And also, I attended
And they didn't increase the tax rate, tax increase.
and also attended the Tuesday board, city council meeting, where they did pass the election for the $2 million bond for the branch connection. So that will be on the ballot. So,
Yeah.
talk to your neighbors.
Anything else?
Game night.
We're not there yet.
To subcommittees.
Oh, subcommittees. I don't know.
Yeah.
So real quick on programs. Just so we all understand, what we're gonna do is January, February, March, April, we're holding with the current alternative locations. When summer comes, we will have to relocate. And as soon as we know for sure, but right now it's looking like we're essentially gonna be hosting at 3 different locations. One will be fitness at the event center. The other one will hopefully be at a possible church. And then the third will be our dance at the Nancy Watton Center. Assuming that between now and then, we're not able to find a better fit for that. Like, we understand the dance floor is an issue. And then after the summer, then we're gonna come back to what we're doing right now. The same concept, using city facilities to host our program. So, but as soon as we get that confirmation and we get all that worked out for the summer, we'll start putting together the newsletters and pumping that information out.
C5, appointed subcommittee. Deborah and you have a update also.
Okay, so, Tammy, Sharon and I, volunteered to, be on the committee for game night. And when that was formed, there was a little bit more discussion about whether we were keeping game night as the past, or we were gonna look at other options and making more of them. My understanding is that after conversations with Ashley, that's somewhat due because of the time frame of, renovation, that it was decided that we were just gonna keep the game night for this year, just as it is. And there would not be additional events, and stop me if I'm incorrect on understanding. Additional options for game night. So the rooms that have already been reserved for September 13th. The gym and 2 other rooms, one for bingo and one for food. So when Sharon and Tammy and I got together, we talked, based on the fact that it was just gonna be game night again as previous. So we talked about some other things. So we talked about the theme, things that we would like to do as a committee to help lead, and then just some thoughts for changes. So I'll just go through a few of these. Theme ideas, we had talked about James Bond, and I guess that's previously been done. I don't know how long ago, around the world. Some kind of disco, superheroes. We actually like the James Bond idea, but I guess since it's been done, maybe that's not an option to do again. things that we would like to work on and maybe take a little bit more charge on was, to do a slight revision of the solicitation letter. We would like to address sooner than we did last year, reaching out to some of these bigger organizations, because last year we missed some donations because we were too late. Because a lot of them require like 60 days. And we got too late to get some of those donations. So we would like to get on that, like, really, as soon as possible. And Ashley mentioned that we could take a stab at that, doing some kind of revision on that letter and then send it back to them for their approval. And then we could start reaching out to some of these bigger organizations. Another thing we talked about was the brochure. And some of this, we just want to help with. Maybe take something off your guys' plate just because, you've got a lot going on with everybody, where they're at and all over the place and trying to keep track of the programs and events. So our goal was, to help on that. So Ashley and I did talk about that too, and designing, proofing, printing a brochure. You've got some people in place that you would like to use for some of that. I've got a source too that we might be able to get some of the design done on the program for free. So that's an option. I've already spoken to them and they're up for that. And then we wouldn't mind, helping vet out some other food vendors. But I know part of that might depend on what the theme ends up being. So that was talked about as well. Some thoughts that for changes that we felt would be important. We felt like last year there were a limited number of gifts and they were all these really big gifts. And there were people that had given gift baskets, but then they were just kind of, well, not just, but they were taken apart and put as part of these really big gifts. And there were some people that were like, hey, what happened to the basket I gave? We would like to see, as a committee, we would like to see more gifts given out. So maybe not the really big gifts, but the opportunity for more people to get a gift. And plus it's, I think it keeps more people involved, more people engaged, people like hearing their names called, whether or however it's done, whether it's going to the stage, getting a gift and how that's all figured out. I'm not quite sure, but we would like to see more gifts as opposed to just the fewer big gifts. The other thing we talked about were the gift cards. Because we understand this year that we can't take cash and buy gift cards. So it may be a little bit more difficult to get those gift cards. So maybe there's a different approach to those as they come in, because in the past, everybody's gotten a $25 gift card. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they get tickets to possibly win some other gifts as opposed to everybody getting a gift card. Just throwing that out there is something a little bit different approach. So if it is a challenge and we aren't able to get gift cards for everyone, we look at another option that people could still feel like there's going to be some opportunity for them to win some prizes or something. 1 second, let me kind of go through it and then do your questions. Because there's only a couple more things. Decorations. We talked about maybe a little bit different approach on that. Like last year, I don't think half the people knew there was a live horse. Did we maybe, is there a way to simplify decorations? Maybe we figure out a way not to spend as much. I don't know, but still, make it look really nice, depending on the theme we go with. And then the other thing was solicitation. And, we talked about, does this need to be limited to just board members as far as getting donations? And that was something that Ashley and Jackie have spoken that, they are open to people outside of our board helping in that process. And I mean, there's a lot of people that know a lot of people. So I think it would be nice to spread that opportunity for people outside of this board to help get donations for us. Anything I've missed in addition to that, Jackie and Ashley?
I just want to clarify that a sponsor can give us gift cards and we can give those gift cards out. We just cannot take cash in and then go buy gift cards. Just to clarify that.
Right. About, in our, meeting that, people will kind of see, like, I buy a $25 ticket and then even a $25 discharge. Yeah, so it's basically net zero in my pocket, which means there's put a lot of pressure on us to come up with, 200 gift cards or 300 gift cards, and we may not be able to hit that if we're just relying on the sponsors, like.
Right. So just, I mean, that's kind of all we've gone through so far. But yeah, the questions, thoughts, I mean, obviously it's still in conversation and nothing's been finalized. Yes, ma'am.
I just thought maybe, is it a possibility we could give, tickets to the Fire Arts Theater? Someone like buy a bulk from them and then give away tickets instead of gift cards?
Well, I mean, anything's, yeah, any kind of gifts that we can give. Now, whether or not they're gonna want to give 200 some tickets away, I don't know.
But I think the issue is that we can't take a $200 cash donation and then go buy something with it.
We can't go buy gift cards,
Specifically, but we could buy
tangible items,
a
a grill, steaks.
So, yeah, so
If
gift
we're- let
cards
me ask a
become
question.
harder to acquire.
And some do give us gift cards as a sponsorship.
If we're gonna take a $200 cash donation or whatever, why would that person not just go buy it
Gift cards.
in themselves?
Some of the person, like, our donors are just members that want to write a check.
Yeah, it's not convenient for them to go do it. They're just here, you go do it.
Right.
Take that one extra step. Okay, I'm just curious.
Well, I'm guilty of that. Last year, I just gave.
I know,
Right,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'm guilty of that too, but,
But for we talked about too, like, for vendors who are legitimate, they have a person that's their job, that's not a problem,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Okay, well, just, stop by Target and pick up some gift cards for us, right?
yeah.
But for the individuals, it's kind of more of a, like, now you're adding a chore in addition to the check.
I noticed that, restaurants, a lot of them weren't as generous as in previous years.
Yeah, I felt, we were pretty.
Yeah, I think maybe this year that was back to.
hopefully,
Well,
yeah.
sometimes timing is too, we were very last minute.
Yeah.
So that's what we talked about as well. We feel like if we got started now.
But I mean, some of the ones, but some of them that, walked in there and they saw me coming and they said, here, let me get your gift cards.
Well, yeah,
So the solicitation stuff, I will get Jennifer on an email with y'all. Is it Sharon, Tammy and you?
yes.
Okay. To go over the letter and then talk about the list, because she doesn't know if the preferences, if y'all want less or at whatever, but she's the one that kind of coordinates that. So I will, when she gets back, I'll get y'all together.
Yeah.
And y'all can rock and roll.
Yeah, because if we can get that first.
She gets back to you.
Oh, she's a
Yeah, she's an illustrator.
It's a whole thing.
One of the things we talked about was reducing the size of the gifts and have smaller gifts, but have, everybody got, just number of tickets. And when, like, every 15, 20 minutes, we would just have a drawing for a gift and have this go on throughout the whole game night. So that something was going on and you might win, would keep the excitement factor going throughout the game, because not everybody plays gambles in game night.
We talked about the logistics problem.
Yeah,
We talked about that might be a logistics issue.
Yeah, so last year, we didn't do that because we've done it all the other years. And again, this is the Senior Advisory Board hosts 2024 game night, 25 game night, right? So this is y'all's Corvette, drive it however you want. But when you have all those individual prizes to give out and we do 250 tickets, the senior advisory board is the one that figures out how to get the winners their prizes.
Yeah.
And so all night, that's what you get to do. So again,
Yeah, so we haven't figured that out, obviously, how that's gonna work, or how many, but.
Well, we need to make some decisions on what we want to address, and then we can start looking at logistics on how to do it.
So I guess I'm confused about, if somebody does give you a check for money, cash, so what do we do with it? We can't buy gift cards, what do we do? Go out and buy just, like you said, stuff?
this,
Mhm.
I mean, that would
I guess we
be
go-
a small
Yeah.
drawing
That's what it would-
away.
so it can either be that, or if you want to do away with because we do what, six grand prizes and two $500 cash give outs. So again, it's decision upon the board is if you want to do away with those 6 prizes and use all the money for smaller tangible items, that's gonna, what you buy is gonna be contingent upon how much is brought in. Then we've got to figure out if a company wants to give you a gift card, if Maggie's Place wants to give you a $50 gift card to eat dinner there. We've got, so we give the gift card out, but is it considered a prize or do we figure out as a door prize? Just saying, if you do away with that, then you've got to figure out how to disperse the money on prizes to reach 200 whatever people.
Well, I'm also breaking down into, and some of those are like $800.
Apple. Yeah, I think that's part of it too, it's, Jennifer hasn't really had any, been on her, right? She's been doing it, but now we're saying, we will help. It's not all on you to figure it out and do it all yourselves, right? We're available to help with it, so. That, and I think, too, that you do have some big sponsors like the hospital that give like $500, so they're expecting to get recognition for that. They're not expecting like, oh, you took my $500, it's supposed to be a big grand prize and you got theater tickets, right?
But we can
there is
still
some
do that,
expectation
correct?
for the.
Yeah, so the $500 cash prize, we give that out as actual cash.
Yeah.
But when they donate it, they have, however they give it to us, it has to specify the grand
for the cash
prize.
Right.
Which is like when we did those big poster boards and it says grand prize by whatever,
Yeah,
Dallas
Yeah,
Medical.
absolutely.
And there'll be
Yeah, there's people
recognition.
paying for sponsorship, more or less, right?
And then we also
They're
do
paying for-
brochures.
So, I mean, so we're gonna have the one event. It's gonna be similar to last year. We're gonna get started earlier on getting, donations and just keeping in mind that, if we're gonna be allowed to put it outside this group to have other people help us with that. I think we can start on that process, because some of these big companies, they use that money up and then it's gone. So I mean, and then, we gotta come up with some ideas for the theme, so we can start working on, ideas for decorations and food, so. First, we'll get with Jennifer and get rolling on the letter.
Well, we also talked about kind of at the kickoff of our meeting that, the idea that we're just gonna do the casino this year, give us kind of like a little more time to think about and plan what those other activities might be in the following year.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, this is sure.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I just have a question, like, you're gonna give out a lot of different prizes during the evening to get everybody quiet enough, and everybody's doing different things dispersed about the building. Come in and listen to that, to have a PA system that's big enough and loud enough that people would stop what they're doing to listen.
Yeah, I don't think we've figured out the logistics yet, but we would, I think the overall thought was that we would like more gifts.
So the PA system you can use throughout the
That was the
building,
overall.
just get on the phone
So how do
and
we
say,
actually
hey,
accomplish that?
Mary won.
Well,
I
at
don't
the
know.
end, I think people would
So
stay
it's not a
and give
problem.
more gifts, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's just more,
So-
I think it's fun.
So, and I just,
So we do 250 tickets, right? And this is, again, I'm just thinking out loud because I'm just kind of talking what she's talking about. But the event is from 5 to 9. That's 4 hours, right?
It's not very long.
That's 240 minutes. If you have 250 tickets, that means the minute we open the door, we're gonna have to start. That's a prize a minute. I'm just giving some perspective that you're talking about 240 minutes of an event and you have 250 people. And if everybody's gonna get a prize and you're gonna knock it out
I don't
through,
think everybody's gonna get it.
Right.
I don't see that happening.
Well, it's all,
You just have to
it's
break it
happening.
down.
Well, yeah,
Like if you
In the
do it
past.
in the past, it's been near the way.
And we have,
5 times, right? You just do it 5 times and you give out.
okay, what decisions have been made now for game night? It's going to be here at the rec center
that's about it. The rest of it.
and
The rest of it's on.
in the past, we've had the gambling and then we had bingo. Is it going to be in separate areas
Yes.
Yes.
or is it going to be all in one area?
So we're gonna have the casino in there, bingo in one of these and food, right? Yeah, Ashley had mentioned it earlier.
So we could have them, the people who are in the bingo area could put their tickets in a bingo so that everybody's drawn there, or, and then the people who are, well, for
Because you want.
communication
People
and
move around.
logistics,
Well,
you want somebody.
well, I think before we get in those weeds, I think first we need to get an agreement whether or not
Great.
that is even what you guys want to do. Whether you want to do more gifts
At one
Yeah.
or
price.
fewer tickets. So that's.
I know, I'm
We were
just-
thinking like 50 grand.
That's gonna be the consensus.
I'm just, and so the other fun thing too, so you also gotta think about this. The aspect to the casino game and the bingo game was to win raffle tickets. So you can put them in the raffle. So if you're gonna disperse these 50 prizes, how are these 50 winners gonna be selected?
Or maybe there's even more gifts that they still put the tickets.
Okay, so instead of 6 big raffle prizes, do 50.
Or something, and then we have just small. So we're just talking about breaking down from having 6 big things to eliminate 3 of those big things and have more smaller.
So go 3 and then smaller ones. So we would have to start our announcements just a tad bit early.
Buckets like that versus small, just not $800 prizes. Maybe there's a $3 prize that you put your raffle ticket in.
So, and again, if they're using the raffle tickets to submit that they win from the casino, that means they need to know when that cutoff is, so we can start announcing winners to where we're not staying another hour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. there's that.
We just take it on the way out the door.
That's the only things we need to decide.
And the other piece is dividing it between raffle prizes and door prizes. It's right, and instead of having, $225
Yeah,
cards.
you can go 2 big cash prizes, 3 semi-big prizes, and then chop up the rest.
And, yeah, we've got, I think between the 3 of us, we've got a big event background too. We can kind of think about the logistics.
And you know, and I understand what you're saying, that everybody in the past has always gotten something.
Not always,
Not last year.
Yeah,
it's
most.
not always.
But
We all get a $5 gift certificate.
Last year intentionally,
We intentionally did that, yeah, to dial it down. Because we know in the future, we want to break this into what we call a series, right? More big social.
Last year we had several grand raffle prizes, but we also had 200 door prizes. So out of the 200 people got door prizes. I mean, how much more do you want, or how much less do you want? I don't know. That's the part I'm not seeing right now.
Yeah, not 200 gold prizes.
yeah, and the biggest thing is,
Not so many raffles.
Well, we still have raffles, but maybe not as big.
just fewer.
So you want to, so you want to solicit less.
Go ahead.
No.
Knock it out, Scott.
No. It's gonna be a-
It's like double dutch, you just gotta hop in.
Prizes.
Don't have a bunch of big ones, a bunch of-
So let me understand this. So if we broke down the big prizes that we would have more door prizes.
Right.
So then what you're suggesting is that everyone would have gotten a prize.
Well, then what we
Well,
talked
you
about
can
was that,
They would have options of more, yes.
so
And if
several of
everybody's
those
getting
big
something, I wouldn't call
prizes
it
that were
prize,
raffled
it's just
were
the
actually
keepsake.
donations by companies that
Remember.
wanted to see their
You know, if you give
They
name
got their pictures taken.
and see that
That's
they
a
donated,
thing,
well,
like, it's a
their
keepsake.
gift baskets, or whatever got broken down in years. So there's a little bit of
I want to let them.
Which company?
about that.
I want, because
So
I have to feel like I know which way it's going.
she had one
I
of the
think
gift
at some point they
baskets.
need to
I had
meet and then come
everybody's
back, like,
name was
we don't
misspelled all
spend.
over the place, who was pretty unhappy about that, so.
Well, I had two that were very unhappy about that, but I'm asking now, whose gift baskets were broken down?
So there was that, and then
Right,
like
one of them I saw.
stuff from the.
When did you see this?
And got
Which
put into
company?
it.
It was, I think he put it under Purple Cow branding. It was either that or something.
There was several that were broken down. When we did it, there was several.
They
Because
split
I was there when we did it.
with Michelle.
There was several. So I can see their concern and with the companies, because there was several that were given to us in baskets and we ended up breaking it all down.
Okay.
And they weren't the basket itself anymore.
So I think we just take what's donated to us.
Several meetings. What do you mean several?
At least
6, 8,
4 or 5,
one?
at least.
At least 4 or 5.
Mhm.
Scott has a question.
Yeah, so I'm new to this, obviously, so forgive me for any ignorances I may have, but, as far as public interactions and all that, y'all were discussing that in the past. They didn't always get gifts or whatever year it may have been. What was the general view of that from the people that attended these events? And is it possible for y'all to go out and talk to like the general population that would be, attending this event to kind of get an idea, of would this be okay to do maybe bigger prizes, whether, and that's limited to whatever y'all decide, maybe like, I'm just gonna say 5 big prizes, but however many small prizes, just as an idea. Obviously, again, sorry for my ignorance. but
I
I'm
said
just
that,
curious.
ask the members.
Yes, ma'am.
The branch.
Just so that way you guys don't necessarily have to deal with the repercussions of, well, they didn't say anything about us not getting prizes, like we showed up, didn't get anything, but.
We can always survey it. We get surveyed again, but you know, when we surveyed it out about, do we keep game night or break it? You saw the results on 50/50. But I mean, surveys never hurt, right? It supports whether or not.
How's that? Now that, we're in so many locations.
So the hard copy paper and pen would be extremely tricky. I think that we would figure out a way to distribute it at 3 locations. And then our fail safe is always SurveyMonkey emails. The returns on those, I think, were not extremely high, but it did give us some data. We could try to figure out something, we can put up here and collect data for 2 weeks, if we want to do that route.
Ask like the instructors just to do an informal, like, hey, you came to my class today. What'd you think about prizes and game night? I don't know, but it seems kind of maybe.
I mean, we could ask them to kind of shift them to go fill out like a ballot and submit it so we actually can see the hard copy voted on it versus verbal, because you ever played Purple Telephone?
Do they use a like ID card to scan in?
They
when
do.
they show up?
Yeah.
Could it possibly even just be something simple as like, whenever they go up, you just say, hey, do you have a moment to fill this out? And like just simple yes, no answers, something real short like that. I mean, again, I don't know how logistics and all that would work with
So
it.
the trick here though is because this event is specifically for members that are 50 years and older. And up front, which is our access point, we're collaborating right now with the recreation because we don't have a building. So we would just have to figure out how to make sure that whoever's taking a survey is an applicable member.
Okay.
And that would be a
We can
little
figure out a
tricky.
way to reach them. It's a little tricky.
It's a little
We can
tricky.
figure out a way
We
to
can
reach
figure it
them. To
We have the email distribution for the calendar and that we send out. Use that,
So that's the exact same way we send the link out to the SurveyMonkey
yes.
that we did last time. So again, we would use that again.
Okay.
Okay, so I think the question on the table is whether we want to break it down into smaller pieces as far as the prizes are concerned. I think that's the question right now. We know where it's gonna be, what it's gonna, you know, where it's gonna be, when it's gonna be. But the prize will be solicitation probably, and, I mean, if we, I don't know if we vote on this, I don't know, we have to decide.
And we're gonna set a theme.
And, well, let's have some ideas for things. I mean, a couple of years ago, there was a psychedelic, we were gonna do that, and those were one of our options, and we didn't go with it, so. That time. I thought it was kind of.
I just think that the simpler we can keep it, because we're gonna have a new location. All these people that come are gamblers. So they know not everybody can win, that there's so many people can win. So I think the simpler we can keep it, because it's gonna be confusing anyway in a new location to the people that come all the time.
Yeah.
So I think the simpler we can keep it, the better.
It feels like the price discussion and how many and how we break it down is maybe premature. Like, we should probably get the solicitation process going and see what starts coming in, what that reaction is, and then decide how we break it up.
So why don't we do this then? This is just my suggestion. Why don't we, for March, right? The game night board come in with some genres for y'all to officially vote on. That gives us some opportunity to work on survey verbiage. That'll give y'all time to work on solicitation, right, with Jennifer. And then we can start getting whatever the game plan is to get the survey out on the prize breakdown while y'all are still able to move forward with the solicitation aspects. And then also have the genre talked about at next meeting and decided.
Okay.
That sound good?
Yeah. So you guys mentioned, just, let me make this part quick, but, you had mentioned there were some ideas like the psychedelic that you did not do in the past. Was there anything else that you guys had talked about doing that you thought was a good idea for a theme but never did? Anything else that comes to mind? No? Yeah, that's one of them. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna say, we can come up with three, and let's not overload ourselves with a lot more.
I agree.
There's always six.
Not next year. We'll have 3 different things next year, hopefully.
Okay. All right.
Let's move on to Jackie is gonna give us some
Well,
renovation.
real quick, is there anything from Century Club Memorial or Spotlight? Yeah. Okay. This is gonna be tricky. It's gonna be kind of bit by bit, so, yeah. So, I mean. Pink one, so pink one is.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. Our focus is more on just making sure that the letters were fine, but if we start earlier, we can start at things like asking.
Yes, you're.
Yeah, there's still that stage.
No, I can tell everybody.
I don't see us. I just see us getting more.
And we was a solid.
Dollar value.
Yeah, we do last year.
Well,
I
I don't know
last
what we've done.
I don't remember off the top of my head again, that's Jennifer's, but I think that we stay at about the same if we're gonna, it's our last year. We go out.
So,
I joined the board right at the process started, and I thought I wasn't really involved with the. I had no idea how much money was selected or what the name was. Any pre-planning that had been done, I was not informed with it because of my timing of joining the board.
With this year, kind of, same with this year.
So I don't know what has been done in the past,
Yeah, I
so
really have no
what
idea
to
what
think
we're doing.
about
Yeah.
to do.
We got five.
This week.
Oh, we got.
I mean, I'll do.
Oh, you know.
Number six.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
What I said.
some point
She's one of
Jennifer did.
those, in a few years.
So normally it's like 10.
I thought it was 12 the year before.
12.
Well, yeah, we can do target. I mean, I think the main thing we were talking about is like, let's get started now while companies set a budget. And then those ones that have like, oh, 90-day in advance, we can take it through their approval processes that we get on those agendas and calendars.
And getting more people involved. I mean, we don't know who everybody does. I mean, sometimes people have a family member might be working for Southwest Airlines, who knows? You know, I just think it's a lot to put on just us.
Well, one of our major, solicitors last year was not a good. So we don't have time to do it.
Okay, okay.
And,
But we didn't I mean, that's the other part, like, how do we ask? I mean, it's the how do we, it's like, we want, because we were saying too, that there are some people, I think, on the board that it's not what they don't want it. They're not gonna, Deborah, you know, I thought you were good at it, but you're like, oh.
No, I'm gonna tell my daughter to write check. And she would have anything wrong, she asked me this.
no, it's, they're gonna.
But we might have some blockers that like doing that or want to go.
Okay, so I have the samples, I have one sample afterwards we're done, if you want to take a closer look. But the trick is if I have one sample that's applicable for all the other rooms, like it's hard to build the rooms together for you, right? But we'll do our best. So I'll pass this around because this is like an example of what the signage outside of our rooms will look like with the names that y'all had voted on, remember? So that's an easy one to pass around, right? So for the welcome desk, so this was originally the floor for the welcome desk. But with us trying to figure out a way to get the vestibule done, we swapped it. And so this is what's gonna replace the flooring. So this color flooring is what's in our lobby and through like our front desk, our main area. So think about the one that we have, put that over.
that's the, for the floor.
Yes.
Was this more cost efficient? Exactly.
That is, yes.
Yes.
And then this is GL1. So with our walls, GL1.
It's called LVT, luxury vinyl.
It's larger.
It'll be a lot more durable than actual stainless.
So our walls, and this is also front desk and lobby and our walls. So our walls are a mixture with this is a real gray, which is PNC1. And then the GL1 that's gonna be incorporated with it.
With the pictures that I've seen, are we moving the entrance, the desk area to, it's still gonna be.
It's gonna look like two kiosks instead of a desk. I wish I would have brought my ring.
As you.
Actually, I do.
Yeah, you have the floor plan, because
I have a
from
rendering.
looking at the pictures, it looks like you walk in the door and the desks are right in front of you.
That's what it
rather
looked like to
than
me,
over
yeah.
here.
They're still on the left.
They're still on the left.
They're still on the left,
Still
okay.
on the-
They're just broken up into two different desks and not one big one.
Yeah,
They'll still be on the left.
yeah.
Okay.
As the rendering shows.
They're on the left.
Well, okay, I was seeing it as I came in the door, this was right,
Oh, you came in the door.
so this is on the left.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
thought like to
see.
me. Yeah, that's
The
what was like to
perspective
me.
is a little off. Okay. And this seating area is, this is where the conference room is? And that's where the coffee bar and everything was, this is over here, okay.
Any color or is it all gray?
Don't have problem?
You have a new pro, you have one of the new programs?
It's pretty much.
Yeah, this is the March.
It's pretty much.
Yes, I have, yeah.
There's a.
I had been looking at it and my perspective was off.
Yeah, I understand.
We're gonna have some of that.
And these are paint samples? With what?
so those are floor and wall, floor and wall. So the gray,
Well, the big gray.
the big gray one is floor,
Yeah, the wall.
Here, so.
Okay.
Those have been out for over a year now, almost 2 years.
the renderings. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find them.
There's new programs that go in and develop contents.
Is that a different wall color? Are these all wall colors, just different rooms? Yeah, there's some color. There's some teal.
Jackie,
I'm trying to pull.
We're jumping ahead.
Yeah. I don't have that with me. The colors.
Understand.
Is this color scheme gonna go all the way through to all the individual rooms? Each room be a little different?
There'll be some variations.
So yeah, so that's like if you walk in again, that front pillar is the
That's one to see.
if you're going down the hallway,
This one.
this is that same front pillar, that's right there. This is our same front desk, it's gonna look different, this is what it's gonna look like, the background. I think the lighting fixtures, the design on those may have changed, I don't know if these are still the same ones. But the color concepts here, and the lighting, it's all the same, the furniture is not what you see here, the furniture happens.
This where the seating area is now, so where those chairs are, and then the
So
door.
right here is exactly where you see the big blue sign that says the branch connection, and we got that wood table.
Uh-huh.
This is that area right here.
Okay,
And this is behind it.
okay, and then behind that is the doors to the ball.
This is the left side room doors to the ballroom. This is I think this is the left double side. This is the one single. This is the wall. And then this right here, where this comes out, this is where the small kitchen used to be. And this is no longer the small kitchen. It's turned into our library computer room.
Okay. Okay, that helps with my perspective,
Yeah.
what I'm
This,
looking at.
if you were to go down this way, right here, that's the hallway that keeps going.
The hallway.
Yeah.
And so then then the continuation of the hallway to the right.
Right, but that's like if you walked in and just turned that angle right there.
So basically, the focus of the remodeling is the very front lobby area.
I mean, it's the whole building. It's not just the front area, but it's the whole building, so it's
Okay,
just kind of get away
this is
from.
just one picture.
Yes, that's it. And I actually. Let me see if I can do it.
Jackie, is it not gonna be that green though? It's gonna be this?
Okay, so that is a rug, and that's carpet on top of it, so the floor, this is the floor that's underneath. it.
Right.
That'd be a rug.
Yeah.
We'll get all of our color from things that we can change out.
So that's.
Correct. It was, I think it was designed for it to be timeless. So it's not, we don't take all the bright colors and then it's no longer.
Yeah.
But is that-
or, you know.
Is the red going to be
Correct.
something that walkers can be used on it without getting clogged up in it?
Correct, because they are doing, what's it, the 4x4 instead of the roll of the carpet. But all the carpet samples that we actually have, that they picked on the finishes, we have them here.
The canes and molding.
That was a big reason for the floor
Okay.
change, and Maria had brought it up in one of our meetings, switching to this because the tile wasn't
Too hard.
correct.
Well, when you have the tile square, you know, you've got the grout in between, and so when you've got this LVT, you've got the smooth surface all the way across. So, and we've had issues with this tile here in the rec center. So as nice as ceramic tile is, it's porous, it's harder to clean, it's easier to break, it's louder when you roll table carts across it. And again, this is smoother, the walkers, anything else will be able to get across it, I think, a little bit more easily, and it'll be easier to clean and less noisy, for sure.
Less damage.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Have to shut down for months.
yeah,
The Branch Connection actually had ceramic tiles in the beginning. And a lot
Yeah.
of those were breaking.
that's right, that's right. And so what you see in the building now is similar to this, is similar to this kind of flooring. So it's the LVT, and a lot of facilities are, and that's what's in here too, they're going to this kind of stuff. So,
Did I do it? Let's see if, hey, look at that. Okay, so this is gonna be as close as I can get y'all as apples to apples. That is what it looks like right now. Where did I go? Does that make sense?
You won't have a display table or anything like we have now,
No.
or you can put up
Whoop.
signs and stuff.
What signs?
Well, like you have that table.
Oh, we'll just use the front desk
It won't be
with-
too
with the
congested.
paper. No. That's a lot of elbow room on the corners. Okay, where was I? So you got the PNT one, right, and then you have the flooring. So that's the lobby and the welcome desk and VWC two. I don't think that this is.
Well, it looks like we've lost seating. There's more seating in the lobby area where the couches were. There's tables, 3 or 4 tables with, well, that's not a whole lot.
That is it.
That's fine.
And it's also, yeah, it's not showing everything to the right. There's much more seating on the right. This is just a portion of the rendering. On the right near the coffee area, there's so many more couches and
So there's
single
more
seating. Yes,
seating
ma'am.
over in the coffee area.
Mhm.
Are they planning to put in an ice machine in the coffee area?
The hospitality bar we are. And this is what's in the, that's what it is. CPT one, wow. And this is what's gonna go over that. Only in, I think this
Where it looks green,
yeah.
it's
That,
gonna actually be gray.
that's the one that they have on the.
gray on gray.
And then I'm just gonna pass these around first and tell you what rooms they're in.
Pass that one.
Here, I'll walk that one around.
So when you see it, one piece of it, you're not.
So this is what we're putting in what we're calling the sound room. You know what I'm talking about, what the sound room is?
The
You want, huh? That's, yeah, it's right, you want me to pull the map up? You want me to pull it?
No, that's not.
So this is the flooring for the sound room, which obviously we named something else. CPT. So this is,
the Grove, which is the theater. And I think that's it. So this is the theater. CPT 3. And then LVT 2 and 3. That's
That's what they want. What is that?
It's gonna be more expensive than.
Maria, did they actually have the green to begin with?
Sorry.
Are you talking about, did we have a green sample? I can't remember. Did we have a green sample?
Not that I've ever seen, so
But that's
Not that
really
I-
pretty.
Yeah, I don't remember. I really don't remember if we had one or not.
That's really pretty.
Right, but she's saying she likes it green.
Yeah,
And part of it too is, and some of the people who were in making decisions on ultimate choices, this was their preference. And so we had limited options on what we were able to choose because people above us had certain visions for it. So, and which is why the rec center, it looks pretty monochromatic.
This is part of the kiosk. And then
sorry?
these finishes here, I
Well,
think are on the columns. That they had these, as part of that, and then this, I think, is part of this, part of this. This is part of that as well. And
Where did the other multicolored glass go?
Oh, the one that was down there.
this was
I'm a black and white person.
That go behind the kiosks,
GL1 north wall.
goes behind the kiosks.
So this will be, yeah, this is what's behind the light. So that's definitely behind there.
That's pretty.
This isn't what we're using, this is like, we're doing. LVT1, so this is the other. This is gonna be the flooring in the billiards room, arts and crafts room, and storage room. This is that, this is all it's gonna be, so that's really.
Yeah. This looks expensive, the kiosks.
that's weight to it.
Doors so that you don't have them both open all the time.
What color?
Front doors?
Yeah. They're not very efficient, probably.
Are you talking about the front doors? When-
Yeah. the front doors.
So the front doors are part of phase. I'm going over the finishes right now that they have
Yeah.
for the building. When phase 2 happens, the front doors will be addressed.
Yeah.
Is the back gonna have that green on the back?
The arch.
That green arch?
Any calls for giving feedback
Well,
on the session?
VWC. Where is VWC?
It's like that, it's the
It's the flooring and the craft, different rooms.
You didn't know you're gonna be an interior decorator, did you?
I mean, I'm not, like, we had a company come out and knock this out for us.
Bless your heart.
I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And no brown nosing over there.
No, sorry, that,
all of this is the different parts. And then the maintenance, all required maintenance. is in the-
I think it's been, no, no.
That is.
It is.
Between the green. I bet that's the very back wall.
You know, I don't remember, honestly.
Looks like-
West wall. So this is another wall color that'll be going up on the west wall, which I think is what's inside of that green, where the art is at.
Oh, I thought that's what that was.
That green arch gonna be there? I mean, is it green?
I mean, that's the west side of our lobby, and I've looked at,
They eliminated, they changed the color of the rug.
Because that's got a green
The color of the arch.
Maybe the arch will be.
G2 one.
Haven't seen any green yet.
It's the green in that.
Not like that green.
Just a little bit of green in it.
I like that carpet. It's in the picture.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's good with that green arch too.
Because they changed the green carpet to that carpet.
That'd be pretty.
I think this is,
Actually, it looks like you can walk between those two desk areas there on the left to get to, back behind there. Is it gonna be open like that?
It will be open, but we won't encourage patrons to go back there because it is our staff's area, but it is open.
It is open,
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
not totally blocked off.
Yeah,
like it
yeah,
is
it's
now.
not like how it is now.
Yes.
all of these. I'm trying to put together the. Where's
So you won't have as much security at the thing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they had, the rec center, the desk is open like that too, where people could come behind it. It really hasn't been,
Oh, no, it
An
doesn't
issue.
go. Can't do
no, it doesn't up here. It's open.
Oh, it's-
Someone could walk right back behind there. And it really, I mean, with staff monitoring it, it's not really a big problem. If somebody wanted to get back behind a desk, they're gonna do it no matter what. And it hasn't really been a problem up here.
And the plan is for when you enter our offices and stuff back there, it's gonna be badge access, so not anyone can just go back there.
Don't have it closed.
It's more welcoming to be like.
Open.
It's like,
Yeah.
you're in a bank, you stay on your side.
So, and I'll pass these around. So these are all parts that are incorporated with the hospitality and the lobby area, and I'll pull a picture up of that, so to kind of give it some reference. I don't have a sample of the wood that they're using. Let me double check that I don't have that sample. So yeah, so those right there are kind of that whole bar area. And then I don't think they let that piece of wood. It's like I'm not saying it's faux wood, but it's essentially faux wood.
And everything you're showing us is still phase one.
What's the green?
Correct. So that's why I'm having to go through and nitpick. So like, for example, if phase two happened, this is supposed to be phase two flooring. This is the yoga and stretch room, but it's not, it goes with everything else, but it's not in play.
Are there?
Well, you did what you said you were gonna do. You're gonna bring all you said.
Yes, all of the
Sorry, say that again?
samples. We've got all.
Cabinets, storage cabinets, or is it just one big storage room in the craft room?
So the storage is just
But you
one
have
storage
so
room.
many cabinets.
Right? But
Yeah,
it's
which
bronze
is
and
millwork,
black.
which I think that this is storage. Space park.
So I'm just curious, who chooses?
When we got presented with options, at the time, we worked with the architect, our director at the time, who's deputy director, they worked together on having some choices, and then we got to choose from those choices. So of the choices, the options we had, these were the choices that staff went with, that we were presented with. We didn't have,
So somebody else said, okay, you got, what's that?
here's your, like, these are your options here, choose from these options. So we didn't get to just go to a showroom or whatever and say, I want this, yeah, so it was, here's like 3 to 5 options, and they were all very similar. And then it was, we were able to select based on, color, kind of what we thought would be feasible, price, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of where we are. And although there is a lot of gray here, there will be pops of color with some of you're seeing some of the glass, the furniture. That's where you, like here in the rec center, it's pretty monochromatic, but like the seating area up front, you see the red chair and the green. So there'll be accents and pops of color. So I don't want you all to think that it's going to be completely agreeable gray. Like, yeah. What do they call it now? Millennial gray, I think is the term. Like, it's not gonna be all gray.
Incorporated with arts and crafts.
Oh.
And the millwork that's in there, but I don't think I have the actual millwork
That's gonna be pretty.
information. It's a lot better when like Quorum came in, Danny, because they're like, oh, like
Yeah.
transparent and everything, and like, this will look like this, this will look like this. I'm just trying to pick and choose what I actually have to try to give examples to actual, and of course, like that picture, so like wherever those samples went, those did a really good job of presenting what this will look like, you know, bar area. But now this furniture is not a reality, this furniture is not a reality, that's not, that's just the picture, right?
Furniture space too.
No, finishes, no. Same thing with like in here, in conference room, like that furniture is just for the picture, it's not, these aren't actual furniture pieces. This is an actual finish, that is an actual finish, this is an actual finish. This is an actual finish. I don't know about the lighting, I think they're gonna have like this type of lighting. I don't know about that.
Is that the floor in the
This is
back?
an actual
No,
finish.
this is like the dance, the fitness flooring, like
in the Where?
fitness, in the fitness room,
On
the
Oh, the
fitness.
fitness.
So this,
Yeah.
this would be
Yeah.
really like the mirror room, the conference room on your right hand side. More, well, you're facing north, which is.
I believe actually you're looking more.
Here, like, here's
That is great.
the pops of color.
Yes.
Like this. Like if you look at this in the light, that's.
Because the hospitality,
Which is some storage right behind the bar, which is right up on the east.
yeah, all this is east, so like this is our actual parking lot, the venue is over here. So north, like facing Denton, if you're looking this way, that's east, right? And everything's-
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's
I
east.
thought that was
No.
looking, so the storage, there's a storage behind the
We
bar.
flopped it, which I, maybe pull
You
it
flopped
up.
it, yeah.
We flopped it because of the.
There was
But
a,
it's in the same, it's on the same top together. Because of the pillar,
Okay.
that's why.
yeah,
So what's on the other side of the wall in bar area?
It was storage. One of them goes to, actually, I think it's storage.
Storage. I thought the storage was to the right of that, of those windows.
So what happens, they moved the garden room and the sound room and the garden room, they swapped them because of that pillar. Like, see, that's the hospitality bar, the storage is behind it. Garden, so instead of garden being behind it, it's on the front, right?
Okay.
And then they pulled this room from over here to over here, and then the theater there.
See, that's the laminate for the floor.
It's very exciting.
That's pretty cool.
I watched it, where I'm right now.
This is our core
Here, Seth,
Thank you.
Thank you.
and storage floor, which storage is there next year, so that's. I promise you, they did a lot better job showing us how these all go together.
you did good.
That's.
This,
I don't see it.
It's the hallway,
Corridor,
the two.
and storage.
And
Looks like there's windows here, but I don't see any windows.
Where you at, like, they, I gave you
Okay.
the brochure, county, the March, April.
I think I passed it on.
Yeah, we passed it on.
Yeah, it went.
What did you
Lambert?
do? Ashley has.
You want it?
Yeah.
I'll look at it. Don't worry about it. I just wanted to show you.
Not doing anything to the ballroom.
No, it's promised they wouldn't touch it.
Arts and crafts room. I think this is the wall.
They
With our
promised we-
kids stuff on or something like that.
Okay.
Except they.
Jennifer's-
Lighting.
Oh,
There's a
the
portion-
Design wall.
That's it there.
But I don't see these windows here. I see out. No.
So there's no.
So this is the theater. This is the theater floor. Also known as the room.
There's no conference room.
No conference room anymore.
Yeah, that's what I,
Museum.
oh, wait, or
Sound room.
sound.
storage. So there's no more conference room anymore?
No, there is.
Where is it?
That's
There is.
right
Glass
there.
right there, the glass rooms.
It's still existing.
Oh, glassed in.
The garden room.
Oh, the garden room.
So speaking of the garden room, this is the flooring in the garden room.
Okay,
So that's the color for that one.
that's for the conference.
So this is glass here,
Yeah.
glass wall.
Yeah, glass, yeah.
No, that's it. This is only in the garden room. And then
So they
that's
have,
this one.
Now, which one?
if they have a fight in the conference room, everybody's able to see it.
That's right.
Where's the?
They're gonna have to behave themselves
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is that the garden?
No.
yeah.
So this
We
is
can see.
all the back offices.
Yeah,
But that's if you said offices, that's phase two.
Yeah, okay.
doesn't look like any green carpet.
Nope, hadn't found
A lot of
that.
grays.
Yeah.
Nothing, nothing really.
it's a neutral color. I mean, there's a lot of things that can go with that.
So this is saying sitting area, CPT two sitting area, which would be in the lobby. So that's got, I mean, it's got, I don't know, it's gray, but you can still see,
The purple in it.
yeah, which,
I kind of love it.
I'm not for sure exactly where it says sitting area. And then F1. I don't think this is, so this was not part of it, but this would go in the entry when you walk in. And then, so we've done the walls and, so we've seen the wall paint, right? So this is part of, these are all different parts of the,
Oh, more.
Bless you.
Yeah, Jeff, you're doing great. Just,
well, no, it's, I keep grabbing stuff that's on the face too.
I'm excited to hear about that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious.
So this is part of the ballroom. These are colors of what, I know it's not part of it, but this is what they're saying is part of the ballroom. These are all parts that are incorporated with the walls and the colors
In the ballroom.
in the ballroom,
Awesome.
walls.
Phase two.
Phase two. I know.
I just use walls.
No, that's phase two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's phase two.
that's what will be on the bond.
I think this is more of the same, these are more of the same colors as part of the ballroom.
Yeah, restrooms too.
Here, it's gray. That's phase one.
That's phase two.
Yeah, I mean, you have those colors.
Yeah, we have to do it all safety.
You're not gonna damage the acoustics in the ballroom, are they?
No, they're gonna rewrap the sound panel.
That's one of the real pluses.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
There's acoustics in there for jail.
They actually have an acoustics engineer inside there.
CT two and CT one.
What?
Buildings are like that.
We'll know while it's still closed if they're gonna do it, if gas.
Everything, the ballroom, like all the stuff.
Like,
One base, 200, goodbye, it's 200.
Yeah, that's what we did with this. We moved everything into our gymnastics gym.
Solar, that's what it's.
Everything's in our gymnastics. Well, then some of them are bigger stores where. Yeah.
And for me, if it happens,
The sun.
we'll start moving.
charges that.
Here. But I took it to Fuller's and had last year. I just said, I'll just leave it.
But they didn't have.
Is that everything? Or you look at everything?
I'm missing.
That's what the original
Okay, I
file.
need to get rid of this, because this.
That's the original.
So this is not what we're doing. I tried to find the stuff for the bathroom.
Well, the bathroom's not on the renovation.
The new one is.
The bathrooms are not, they're on phase two.
No, the baby bathroom.
Oh, the little bathroom.
And that's what I was trying to. What is this bathroom? CT two, which I think this is the bathroom. So I don't know if we gotta talk to them to change this. So this is sitting area. Actually, no, it's not. Three. RF2, RF2, CT. I think this is.
Who does the cleaning of the center? Is it done by the city?
There's a contract with the janitorial company that comes in and does rec center, branch connection, city hall, aquatics, like this, the senior, or the police station, all of it.
This baby bathroom,
Can I get on the
is it
list?
gonna
Yeah,
be
no,
like
me too.
those family bathrooms over there?
Yes.
Yes.
These right here?
Yes,
Yes,
well, that commode is so short,
well, it won't seem,
seniors won't ever be able to get up.
that's specified for kids, because they run a summer camp from here, so that was designed specifically for the clientele that mostly uses this during the summer, so it won't be a small, short commode, I promise, it'll be a normal size.
How about a river apple?
A really tall one, for who?
They'd have to have, I mean, if they didn't have gravel.
It's really small.
Yeah.
It's designed for.
These restrooms were put in because, so that way when we have kids here in the summertime, they don't have to go out into the hallways to go to the bathroom. They just can go right here and they're not leaving the room. So yeah, it's like Asha said, it's designed. And if you think those are little, you should see the one in the little childcare room. It's
Like a potty seat.
yeah,
Lower, huh?
yeah, but they won't be like that.
Yeah. That's right.
That's stone.
So this is the bathroom. Where's the bathroom? So this and this. CT one, this replaces CT, this replaces CT one, this is CT two. So this is actually like the wall.
Low. And
And
they
then this
back
is
up,
the,
and
yeah.
they go back to the handicap.
Yes. That's why I was looking for floor, and this is a wall,
No more.
so. I think the rest of these samples that I have are not, I can't either I can't find them or they're in different parts.
That's all right, Jack. How do you get the?
But whenever we get done, if y'all want to come, we can go back through and plug them together, so. But yeah, these ones that I have right here, they're either not on here or they're.
What's that one up there? Just curiosity.
This one is so when you walk in, the entrance, this is gonna be the entrance vestibule. Okay.
This is what we walk in, and then this is behind the lobby and in office.
Okay, fair. Thank
And
you.
that would really show dirt,
Huh?
that black thing.
This one?
Yeah.
That is coarse, so hopefully it'll help keep the dirt from coming inside the building. Yeah, so that's all I've got.
Thank you so much.
I'm just curious about maintenance of this. Is it gonna be an additional, I mean, is it gonna be lots more to maintain
Okay, the carpet.
with the conference?
That will be up, the janitorial crew, I'm sorry, let me back up. Facility maintenance will determine that. So they'll work with the janitorial company. They'll come in, they'll do a walkthrough. If it changes the scope of work or the pricing, then that will be addressed by facility maintenance. But that's a
And that's
good,
their budget. and all that.
well, it's, they will budget for it. It's part of our budget, but they will determine the budget for it. But it does come out of the
So
branch
remember I
connection
said like
division.
we split, like I have, it's one budget, but one's our operational aspect and the other aspect's facilities. This is where that
Yeah.
number, if it changes for them, it's still gonna impact us as a total building.
But that's easy to justify too, because when that kind of stuff happens, when janitorial costs go up or our utilities go up. And then so our budget goes up. And so if we get questioned, they say, well, how come why are you asking for more money in your water account? Well, because we're using more water and that's what we're told we need. And so same thing with facilities. They'll say, well, this is what facilities maintenance said we need to add to our budget in order to increase for the janitorial costs.
Are they considering solar panels?
Does your building have solar panels? I don't know.
We're getting a backup generator.
Yeah, they're getting a generator, but I don't know if that's, the rec center has solar panels. I don't know if that's, we can find out if that's the plan for the branch connection. I don't know. I'm not sure. You can email Alex and ask him.
Thank you so much, Jackie.
So I'll do one more real quick, just because so remember when we were talking about which way that was looking? So right here is right here. So there. That's the angle. That's the side of the hallway that that's on.
Are you gonna change that hallway too, yeah?
Yes,
Okay.
you're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, that was great.
You did good, Jeff.
I tried. I'm not an interior designer, so I don't know how to read that kind of stuff. I'm learning though.
Anything, you would like to review renovation, just kind of state of where we are in a month?
I think next go round, and I was not gonna add a new agenda item, but it'll be under renovation. We'll look at what they've given us, not like as examples of furniture. So I'll bring you the workbook that we have.
All right, thank you.
I think that, I don't know that this needs to be on the agenda, but
And I'll bring them from both. There's two companies that have submitted what they call workbooks. And so I'll bring both of them. Anyways, I'm sorry, man.
that's fine. But I think we talked about us as a board going over there and watching the renovations.
Oh, being able to pop in there. Yeah,
So often.
yeah. Well, we can do that.
I don't know if that needs to be an agenda item, but it's something that I definitely want.
We can schedule with the renovation committee and I think it'd be best if we go do something like that. It's after we've concluded and then we can go over there. Cause I have to set up with them to make sure like it's safe for us to come in and,
Well, I just remember when they were building the aquatic center.
yeah.
As a board, we would go over there and visit the aquatic center during the building of it. Of course, we had hard hats and stuff,
Sure, yeah.
but I would like for us to be able to do that. as a
Okay.
board, as the Fresh Connection can renovate as well.
Sounds good.
Are we gonna discuss, possible other dance locations? Here's the ones that's gonna draw a lot of people.
So for now, the location is set through June. We paid for it. I've set up the bands know this new location. It has to be set through. I can look at other locations. I understand there's a dance floor That's as big as it's gonna get. I've spoken with the coordinator over there, so that's it. So,
Yeah.
I can look at other locations post-June. But it is gonna be, we have to look at cost of it. We're getting that Nancy Wine Center for a very reasonable price right now because we are City of Farmers Branch.
How much are we paying for that?
For rentals through June, so January through June, it was $1,200. All we had to pay was the,
$200 a month.
mhm,
That's great.
mhm.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find better than that. And I understand that the dance floor is a problem, but,
I mean, everybody loved the place, you know, the looks of it, but the dance floor was not. the best.
again, and I understand, but what we're getting for it, and as nice as that facility is, I feel like there's nothing that I've seen so far unless y'all present options and I'll go look. But right now, that is our best
Well, what
option.
about the
Finance.
gym here? Is it, being used on Monday evenings?
Yes, it is.
I think it's a wonderful facility. I thought Last Dance, there may not have been that many people. but
It was
man,
also our
So
first
cool.
one. It was our first
Yeah.
dance, so I think the numbers, we kind of expected it to be low anyway, first dance. It was coming back after the holidays. There was many factors playing into it, so I
It
think
was a national championship.
it was, the weather wasn't that nice that night, so I think there was a lot of things that played a factor into the low numbers, which we still, I think we hit 66, so it's still, that's not bad, but it's not our best, right? But I think right now, I think we should stick with it unless any other locations are presented to me, and I can look right now. Financially, we're getting a very good deal for that building. It's very nice, so
Is there any possibility of making it two Mondays a month instead of one?
we can look into it.
I think that's a great question.
Let me look.
Let us find out about our summer program first, and then once we do that, then we can revisit that. That's
For that
fair.
price,
That's fair. Yeah.
and it's, that facility is so pretty.
It is.
Yeah. But through June, it'll be once a month, and let me work on post-June. Let me see what I can do.
Thank you.
All right, C7, receive the senior advisory board and city council update calendar check.
So we'll have our next meeting, March 14th, April 11th, May 9th, June 13th, July 11th, August 8th, September 12th, October 10th. Then we'll have our yearly council update on the 12th, and our standard meeting will be 2 days later on the 14th. And then December, we'll do our holiday lunch staff meeting on December 12th.
All right, anything else?
I think that, on February the 20th, the council may be honoring Deborah, but I'm not sure if that's not written in stone yet. but just in case.
I'll shoot an email. I'll send out a blind copy email.
And also, on February the 14th at 9 o'clock for Sunday donuts and coffee for all the volunteers, and all of us on the board are welcome to come.
Where's that gonna be?
It's gonna be here at the rec center.
Stuff.
February
Full
14th.
staff. It'll be upstairs in the conference room.
You send out an email?
Yes, ma'am. We'll send out an email.
We're
I
all-
thought Jennifer did send one out. That's what
Send out an email.
she said.
Remind me.
She did send out, yeah, Jennifer sent an email.
Sent out, I think a few days ago.
Yeah.
But I'll resend it.
But I don't think it was sent to the board.
Okay.
And so that's why I'm bringing it up today.
Sure.
Make sure all the board members know.
And then
I'll send it to the board when I
And
get
then we
back.
go to Concom and talk like.
Right.
Sounds perfect.
You just walk a little extra the day before.
Yeah. Do you want, make sure everybody got their invite for the banquet?
Banquet, everybody got the, hey, oh yeah, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Boards and Commission banquet, April 6th. Did you finally did anybody not receive it in the mail?
I think I did receive it in the mail.
Last time you hadn't. I think it was you and 2 other people that hadn't.
Joyce and I, April, Joyce.
Okay, so Joyce might be one I just need to double check with.
That one's April 6th.
April 6th at the event center.
Make a motion with her.
Second.
All right, motion has been made and seconded to adjourn on the debate. You'll take care.
You know, people can be so excited.
Is it off?
Game out of games.
Yeah.
Because I heard someone saying,